This is Religion in the News, sponsored by Wish TV, in cooperation with the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
Good morning, I'm J.R. Ryder. Thanks for joining us today for Religion in the News. Also joining me today is Jeffrey Payne and Charity McHugh. Our guests talk about support for the Kidney Foundation, Victory Through Vision, and a Prisoners Reformation Program. News 8 reports on the flash flooding. All that's next. Stay tuned. Flash flooding could be more of a problem for a Hamilton County community that's barely had a chance to dry out from the floods earlier in the week. 24-hour News 8's Phil Sanchez had a first-hand look just north of 106th Street and Cumberland in Fishers, Indiana, where folks are fearing round two.
Some debris that came across right about here.
It was back to the Walnut Hills subdivision today, where the sidewalks and the backyards are dry, but still a mess. Well, no more water in the backyard, but Pat Whitley and his boys keep a close eye on the creek that runs behind the yard.
Obviously, this is all debris that it brought in.
The water levels, he says, higher than usual, which could mean bad news come tomorrow.
Very, very worried about that. Very worried about the basement and the backyard and, you know, just trying to, I don't know, make it through.
On Monday, Cumberland Road, just north of 106th Street, became Cumberland Lake. Cars stuck in rising water, our cameras rolling as a driver had to be rescued. Parents of school-aged kids calling us to say school buses couldn't get in or out of their subdivision.
Riverside Junior High School had all the kids call their home on their own personal cell phones, call their parents and tell them they have 30 minutes to come get their kids.
Some students were even dropped off at a nearby Kroger parking lot. So if the front of the subdivisions look like this again, getting out come Saturday will no doubt be a problem.
We have a lot of things going on, so if it's going to shut down the road again, yeah, it'll definitely affect. You know, we have one daughter that's doing winter guard, and my other daughter's got basketball.
And even if they do get out, getting back in might be more of a concern.
Now, water levels were so high that some people who live in the community had to park their cars in neighboring subdivisions and walk home. Many of them tell us that they hope this is not the case this coming weekend.
My guests today are Tequila Martin and Tashia Webb of Victory Through Vision. Welcome to Religion in the News.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to join us today. And Tequila, tell us about Victory Through Vision.
Victory Through Vision is a drama ministry that we founded in 2008, and the purpose for that ministry is to inspire and change lives through the arts. Our focus mainly is productions. We do plays focusing on the Word of God.
And what's your role with this production company?
I am, usually I do the acting, and this is my first year as a director.
Very good. Now we also have Tashia. Yes. And tell us, what is your role with this program?
I am the writer.
Very good.
I am the writer.
So you're handling scripts and
yes.
Programming and so forth?
Yes.
Outstanding. Now, Tequila, tell us a little bit about the process of, you know, putting together a production like this.
For us, the process usually begins once Tashia has a new play for us, and once she has the play, we decide on when do we want to do. We kind of decide what time of the year we want to have the production, where we want to have the production, and then we begin getting details on where we're going to hold auditions, who do we want in the production, do we want to use new people, do we want to use experienced actors and actresses, what band we're going to use. Also, then we come up with a budget and a location. So that's usually where we start from there. So it takes us maybe, before we actually start auditioning people, we're doing the legwork for maybe 6 months.
So putting on a production, the scale that you all do, is more than just getting on stage and saying a few lines. This is a major operation here. So Tashia, tell us a little bit about what has gone into putting things together for your most current production.
Well, are you talking about basically some
Yes, everything from putting together the scripts and getting that out to the actors and casting and so forth.
Well, basically kind of the writings, putting those things together, I mean, a lot of leg work as far as the writing.
A lot of leg work.
Yes,
Wow.
a lot of leg work as far as the
And
writing.
we're fortunate enough to have a business manager who then entails does a lot of the behind the scenes paperwork for us. Once Tasha does the writing, Kim, our business manager, then types everything up. She makes sure we're organized and in order, and make sure that we're communicating with those people that are in our cast or our behind the scenes team. So that's usually what happens after Tashia writes it. She usually is about making sure that the vision goes forward.
Very good, very good. Now, Tashia, tell us a little bit about some of the challenges. What's the biggest challenge for you all with this production company?
Well, I would say honestly, our finances, and just not a lot of support. You know, sometimes people can look at your past and things that you've done in your past, and you know, well, we don't want to support that or support that particular person because of your past. But I can honestly say finances.
Wow. Now, I heard you're experiencing some really good success with this current production.
Absolutely.
And Tequila, tell us about what happened Saturday in terms of the turnout.
On Saturday, we were sold out. On yesterday evening, a full house. It was something, the Walker Building said that the calls just wouldn't keep, you know, they continued to come. And they said, well, what do? We don't have any more space for everybody. So we were so excited about that. That is our first time we've done maybe 5 or 6 plays together, and this was the first time that we've had a sold out crowd. And we have, for today's show, I think we might have 100 seats left. So we're really excited about what God is doing as far as the support that we're receiving from the community.
Now, speaking of today's show, the name of the production is
Mama, You've Let Us See Too Much.
And Tashia, tell us a little bit about the program in terms of the content. What kind of storyline do we have here?
Well, it's basically dealing with the different things that we have allowed our children to see, things that were not of God, things that were wrong. I mean, from the very things of telling our children to allowing them to lie. You know, you go to a restaurant and the restaurant says your child can eat for free if they're 3, and so your child's 5, and you're saying, well, you say that you're this age or whatever. So, and we're setting them up at that point to be what? A liar. So, and then just the different things that we've allowed, you know, as far as them seeing us do things that are not of God, and you know, hindering them. And
so we're talking some moral messages and things that we deal with as you know, as families, and bringing up children the right way and things like that.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's outstanding.
Just the different examples that we set before them that are not of God.
Wow. Now, if our viewers want to get more information about Victory Through Vision, how can they contact you?
They can contact Victory Through Vision by calling area code 317-490-3999, or they can contact us via email at tst123@msn.com.
That's outstanding. We're looking forward to a lot of great things from Victory Through Vision. It's a new production company.
Absolutely.
Putting out some great plays and productions, and we really do hope people can come out. And once again, Mama, You've Let Us See Too Much, and that's going to be today, Sunday, March 6th at 5 p.m. at the Madam Walker Theater. And for information, you can call area code 317-985-7629. And for tickets, $20 a piece, or if you've got a group of 15 or more, they're only $15. Well, ladies, again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you nothing but the best in your endeavors.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Great. Back to you.
Thanks, Jeff. Coming up next, my guests talk about queens that help support the National Kidney Foundation right after this. Welcome back to Religion in the News. My guest today is Joy Araujo. Welcome to Religion in the News.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. I am so excited to be here.
We're glad to have you.
Well, thank you.
Now, you're a part of the National Kidney Foundation, and you have such an inspiring story that I would love for you to share with us.
Okay, well, basically my story takes place in 1998 is when it started. I woke up one morning and my eyes were swollen shut.
Oh my gosh.
And I went to Riley Hospital, and that's when I found out I had nephrotic syndrome, where my kidneys leaked protein, causing scar tissue, which causes loss of function of the kidney. That day, my whole life just turned upside down. I mean, I woke up, and then I had to get biopsies. I had to go on chemotherapy to shock my kidneys. I did something called pulse steroids, which was 1,500 milligrams of prednisone every other day through IV. I did a lot of treatments, and I really struggled with my kidneys for about 6 years before my doctor just said, you know what, Joy, it's going to be dialysis or a transplant now. And I actually remember the day and everything. And I remember crying and thinking, things are so confusing right now. But I did get a transplant, and I got it June 8th, 2005. So the story kind of starts sad, but I did get a transplant, and I'm feeling great.
Wonderful. What do you really feel that helped you through this time when you were dealing with waiting for the transplant?
Well, actually, it was my mom. I had a very good support group, and a very interesting story. My mom used to tell me every day when I was waiting for my transplant, you know what? Joy cometh in the morning. And I grasped the nature of the phrase and of the quote from the Bible, but I didn't fully understand it until probably almost a decade later. And that is when I got my transplant, because I remember getting a call from the hospital in evening, June 7th, and they said, you may have a new kidney tonight. And I remember waiting all night, waiting for the kidney, and that call didn't come that night. And literally, the next morning, I got the call saying the kidney was mine. And literally, joy cometh in the morning. And my mom had told me that every day, and it really came true. I really got my kidney the next morning.
How long of a recovery time did it take as far as once you got your transplant for you to start? I don't know, you said you were sick for several years. Once you got the transplant, how long was it before you, I guess, started fully recovering, or you were able to return to a normal function?
Well, I was only in the hospital for 5 days after having an organ put into my body, so that was a little stressful. And I stayed home for probably about 4 months before I returned to normal. But as soon as I got my transplant, as soon as the recovery was over, I took driver's ed, I learned to drive a car, I enrolled at IUPUI, studied sociology. I started doing all sorts of things again. I developed the Queen Team, which is an organization of pageant title holders from Indiana who come together to raise money for the National Kidney Foundation of Indiana and for organ donation awareness. We hold fashion shows, we do events, we do all sorts of different things to try to get the message out that kidney disease is a serious problem that millions of Americans are affected with, and millions don't even know it. And that we have an organ shortage in America. 18 or 17, the number varies according to the source. 18 people die every day waiting for an organ transplant. So we have an organ shortage. Too many people are dying with their organs. Too many people aren't signing donor cards. Too many people aren't talking to their families about being organ donors. And that's the #1 thing, talking to your family.
How do people get involved with the Kidney Foundation? If you're not aware of this, I mean, is there a website to go to, or what do people do to get involved?
Well, you can actually go through the Queen Team. We're at kidneyqueens.org. You can go to kidneyindiana.org for the National Kidney Foundation of Indiana's website. And March 10th at Castleton Square Mall, we are having an event from 11 to 8. It is a Thursday for World Kidney Day. And you can come out, you can get your blood pressure checked, because blood pressure is the #1 cause of kidney disease. And you can come support the National Kidney Foundation with donations, or you can simply get information on organ donation awareness and on kidney disease, which is very important.
Wonderful. Now, I know you're a former pageant winner, contestant, and you use this for your platform for the Kidney Foundation. You've also had the opportunity of going into Riley Children's Hospital, and tell us about what you do with them.
I go to Riley Hospital for Children. I volunteer doing tutoring in the dialysis unit. I got behind in school when I was on dialysis, and I feel it's very important to give kids a sense of normalcy throughout their illness. So that's very important to me. And I love Riley Hospital, to be honest. During my illness, they were part of my support group that kept me going. I can name Susie, I can name Dr. Leisher, and there's Linda, and there's Susan. All these wonderful people that helped me get through my illness. These are nurses, these are doctors, these are Cheer Guild members. These are all the volunteers that came to see me in the hospital, that when I was laying in bed and had nothing to do would play games with me and watch the Olympics and say, Michael Phelps is hot with me, you know? So they gave this personal touch at Riley Hospital, and that's why I'm so devoted to them too, because they have gone above and beyond to make sure that I was comfortable and essentially as happy as I could be struggling with chronic kidney disease.
Wonderful. Well, glad obviously you got your kidney and you're doing well. And I know you have the event you said coming up March 10th. It's from 11 to 8, and it's at Castleton Square Mall. So we encourage anybody and everybody to come out and be a part of this, get your blood pressure checked. You said fill out donor cards as well. Wonderful. Well, I wish you the best of luck with your, upcoming event with Teen Queen. So check out the website. Now back to you, JR.
Thanks, Charity, and thank you, Joy. My guests talk about how they are reforming and uniting prisoners. That story's next when Religion in the News returns.